God.
Alright?
It's my
What's that?
rheumatism. It's killing me. Oh.
You feeling better?
Oh, my legs, they hurt. It's very painful. Oh, I'm dying.
Hello everyone, we're back after our accidental indefinite hiatus.
We almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Wimpy got badly sunburned.
Very badly sunburned. Me and Lawrence look like lobsters.
Yeah.
Um,
Most on our faces. Like our perfect torsos were fine.
yeah, we look like shit quality lobsters as well. They're like...
Yeah, like the one that's been like deep frozen, like was pre-cooked and deep frozen.
Yeah, and even when it was in the ocean, it wasn't a very good lobster. Like it just lived at the bottom in all the shit. But anyway,
I'm Lozza. That's Pete, and the other guy is just some random bum that keeps turning up.
I'm back from hell, boys.
how was it?
Oh, it was beautiful. Oh, I should invite you next time.
Oh mate, I'd love to see the pit of horrors.
Oh, I've just got to show you the lake of fire.
Oh.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, this is something kind of stupid, but me and Pete went to see the Gorillas on Saturday.
Yes, we did.
And if you don't know Gorillas lore, then why the fuck you listening to this podcast?
Exactly. It's a prerequisite of listening to this podcast.
But basically, I don't know what level of the Gorillas lore it is, but Murdoch was basically trapped in hell for a while.
I thought Noodle was, and she just left.
No, I think she was almost trapped in hell. Then Murdoch was in hell, and then the slow boat went to hell.
Yeah. Anyway, we should talk about this movie.
I saw a few green guys in hell. It could have been him.
Yeah. So we just watched a film.
We sure did, Lawrence. We sure did.
It was. I'm just going to say it was pretty damn average.
I would agree.
Like,
it was called the Fists, the Kicks, and the Evils.
Yeah.
No, it's just the Fists, the Kicks, the Evils. There's no and.
And the Evils.
Is it?
It's got an ampersand.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you mean. One of those funky little things.
Yeah, the plot was completely standard.
I wanted the main character to die throughout this entire movie.
I didn't care about him.
I actively wanted him to die, which is a first for this, really. Yeah, no, he was rubbish, and he was just in the whole movie, and that made it not a good movie.
I mean, there were some scenes where you were like, okay, maybe he could be good, but it never really capitalised on.
I mean, I think we'll get onto his problems as a human being as the podcast goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a very average movie, really, average to bad, really.
Yeah.
Sorry to ruin it.
Yeah, the fighting was
ratings, but,
par for the course.
But should we talk about the opening?
Okay, so the opening was a fairly standard kung fu film opening.
Yeah.
Where it's just a guy doing some kung fu, which was, it
was pretty good
decent.
kung fu, honestly.
Yeah.
He looked like he was enjoying himself.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Was that?
He was trying to court a crane.
Was that? I can't remember because it was so long ago. It was almost 2 hours ago. But was that the master with the cool eyebrows?
Hang on, I'm looking at it. I can't tell. It doesn't look like.
Or was it just a guy?
He's got completely black hair.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not the master with the eyebrows, and it's definitely not the.
Not the kung fu bum.
No, and not the doctor.
Okay. Well,
it could be the main guy.
Right. But I mean, to be honest, the opening is secondary to the first thing that you see, really, which is the name Rick Ho, who I assume is the name of our main character.
Or the actor. I hope it's the former.
Yeah, but that was cool. And we immediately open up. Oh, actually, we should probably talk about the quality, because the quality of this one was actually pretty good in terms of resolution.
There was no compression artifactation.
Yeah, the sound quality was alright. The music was okay.
I will say, at least for me, and I did restart, refresh the stream at one point.
Oh yes,
but the audio did get quite badly desynced.
Yeah. I didn't personally have that problem, but it always sucks when that happens.
Yeah.
But I'd go as far as to say this is probably the best quality kung fu movie we've watched so far in terms of it actually being watchable.
In terms of the recording.
I noticed a few blue specks here and there.
Yeah.
Sort of rounded sort of specks, sort of oblong shaped ones that would appear intermittently throughout the frame.
Oh.
No, I didn't notice that, but yeah.
Maybe you've got a better eye for this than us, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows. Obviously, a good one for the actual film and cinematography. Pete's the one for actually paying attention to the script. I'm just here for providing the cupid ass.
Yeah, this is true. But anyway, to get onto the plot.
Yes. There wasn't that big a plot in this, you know.
No. I still managed to write about almost two pages on this. But
I gave up after 1.5 of just...
It opens with some dudes with really bad hair going into a dojo.
Yep.
They had this really crazy hairstyle, which kind of looked like they were wearing laurels, you know, like the Olympic laurels they give to winners, or at least they did in Roman times.
More like the laurels that Roman emperors wore.
Yeah, but it was a braid that went around their heads. And these evil dudes challenged the leader of the dojo, who I called Great Eyebrows because he has amazing eyebrows. Even though I think his name
definitely real fake beard.
Yeah, his name is Uncle Ken though.
Kent or Kent?
Might have been Kent actually.
I thought it was Kent.
Yeah.
Again, link back to the gorillas.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it? Destiny almost.
Yeah.
But this fight ends with Great Eyebrows being beaten soundly by shit hairstyle guy number 1.
Like, if you imagine, so the leader of this evil gang, you got this one guy at the top who's wearing like a whitish sort of clothing, and he's got the braid in his hair, and he has this massive pipe. And then you got the guy just below him who's like his. I don't want him to say like a subordinate.
Yeah.
He's almost on equal terms. Just the white guy is just a little bit above him.
Yeah, he's the lieutenant. The black.
Probably even closer to the captain than that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he's wearing a black. I don't even know what it's called. It's not gi, but
yeah. Kung fu.
And then you've got this like guy who, yeah. Then you got this guy who's wearing I think it's brown, and like this black hat thing.
Yeah.
Who was the money guy, and then you just had these 3 like stooges.
Yeah.
Who were just.
I think I called one of them Scarface because he has a scar on his face.
Yeah, another guy was missing his middle 2 teeth.
Yeah, middle 2 teeth, and then spotty middle 2 teeth.
Oh yeah. What about Cross-Eye?
Cross-Eye is regular 2 teeth.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, so Great Eyebrows gets beaten and the guys take over the dojo.
Yeah.
They drag him out into the street and beat him up a bit more, leaving him to die.
Yeah.
Now we're introduced to Dr. Wong,
yes.
who is treating a man with a hand injury.
Wanker's cramp.
Yeah, well, it might well be because he seemed to be enjoying the treatment a little bit too much.
Just like he was just massaging his forearm for free. I mean,
yeah, completely.
What shitty.
That's no way to build an economy, least of all in feudalistic China.
Yeah.
His assistant, who I thought was an assistant at the time, but is actually his
this
son.
is feudalistic China.
Well, it's not modern China.
Yeah.
The thing is, in the doctor's room, I spotted a rather modern-looking depiction of the human body.
Oh, the anatomical map.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I did as well.
Yeah.
I sort of looked at the sets, but I think they mapped out the anatomy a lot earlier than us.
Oh, right.
I think
that
they
makes sense.
And I thought, well, maybe it's a acupuncture chart or something.
Yeah, I think it could have been that as well.
I wouldn't read too much into that. It's definitely we didn't see any guns or any gunpowder in this.
Yeah. If there's no guns, it's feudalistic China.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it works.
And even if there are guns, it's still probably feudalistic China. But so we're introduced to Dr. Wong, a blue suited individual who is clearly a very good
with a
doctor.
mustache.
And his idiot son, whose name I honestly didn't get, so I just
referred to him as son.
I called him Wong Jr. But he wants to stand up for the villagers because
bandits are
because
shitty.
the bandits are shitty, and he goes out and he rescues Uncle Kent, and takes him back to be treated. But one of the guys in the shit-haired gang notices him, walks away. And this is where my problems with Wong Jr. start. He doesn't listen to anyone, not a singular person, and he takes no responsibility for his actions at any point in this movie. So he's going on about how he's going to go and beat the shit out of the gang who have taken over town.
Not considering the fact that they kick the shit into his uncle, who is probably a Grand Master or something, or at least some style of kung fu.
Exactly. He just wants to die. He clearly just has no concept of knowing how to pick his battles and bide his time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. If he was like a teenager thinking he knew everything, you could sort of be like, okay.
Yeah.
But since he's the main character and he's a young adult, you're like, the fuck.
Exactly. And you can understand that at the start of the movie. And we'll get on to how he doesn't learn later, but I mean, we can continue for now just to get to it.
Spoiler, he doesn't learn anything in this film.
He genuinely doesn't. He's just a fucking idiot the whole time. So even though he's got a dying kung fu master in his medical practice, and he's not going to stand a chance against the gang, he just goes out picking a fight with them. Luckily, he's stopped by a local beggar slash. Well, I suppose he sells vegetables, so he's not really a beggar.
He's just this old homeless guy. Well, initially we think homeless because we don't know he has a home.
Yeah.
He's just sat on the street selling vegetables with his daughter or granddaughter. He then gets him to give him a piggyback to the medical clinic for some reason.
It's his way of getting him out of trouble because him and his dad, him and Dr. Wong are good buddies.
Cahoots.
Yeah, so I guess Dr. Wong is having none of his son's shit, and he actually slaps him quite a lot.
Rightfully so. At least 3 times.
I'd slap him. I started thinking it was a bit much to begin with, but by the end of the movie, I wanted him to get slapped all the time.
So then, it feels like there was a scene that was cut here. I don't know why, but basically the bandits show up at the medical clinic-y place.
Yeah.
Whilst the son's giving a piggyback ride to somebody. I assume it's the old guy. They're just, I don't know, I think they're just looking for the old guy, for the old master.
Yeah, because they've heard that he's still alive.
The son's like, why don't you beat him using your crane style? And the guy's like, and his father's like, shut the fuck up, you little shit.
And rightfully so, because
these guys are after crane style people.
Oh, he's such a fucking idiot. Like, he doesn't even understand the gravity of the situation. He just thinks that he's going to be able to beat the shit out of these guys. And damn to be anybody in his life who even gets involved with him, because he's just going to throw them under the bus at a minute's notice and get them killed in a kung fu fight.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happens. His dad gets murdered by the shithead gang, all because he wanted to have a fight.
And his father's literally like, oh, don't listen to him, I don't know. I only know a little bit of kung fu.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot to be said for defending yourself and defending your community from terror, but there's also just being stupid and not dealing with it in an intelligent way.
He constantly goes off half-cocked.
Exactly, yeah. And he goes in without preparing anything, and because of it, people in his life get killed. And that's exactly what happens to his dad. He gets killed in the street by
the Black Bandit.
Yeah.
We'll call them that: Black Bandit, White Bandit, and then the Three Stooges.
That's a good way of doing it.
So then, after he's dead, it cuts to him being given some tea by one of Uncle Kent's old students.
Yeah.
And then he basically convinces Uncle Kent to teach him crane style.
Yeah. So that he can get revenge for his murdered father.
Which, is fair enough, but...
But also, we are only half an hour into this 1.5 hour movie. Or 1 and 20 minutes movie.
So it's slow pacing.
It's very slow pacing. And I was thinking, and normally this happens nearish the end or at least the middle. So we knew there was still a lot to go on.
So then it cuts to the bandits teaching kung fu, and then the leaders are like, so how are we going to make money? They're going through the general monetization schemes like brand deals, advertising, beating people up for money.
Yeah, get a nice sponsorship with Mountain Dew.
And, they settle
on extortion.
Just, yeah. I put it down as collecting taxes.
Oh, yeah, I did as well.
Because they're basically the only local authority that matters.
I think, I wrote, the bad hair gang are going to raise taxes, despite Big Pipe Man worrying it may cause trouble. It's nice to know that he's like the conservative one of the group who's like, oh, maybe we should.
Oh, very relevant.
Yeah, maybe in another life he would have been a good leader for these people, but I guess he just didn't.
Right. Anyway, so they go and collect taxes. Meanwhile, the son learns kung fu.
But he's still getting pretty good at it. But his master is very ill, very close to death. So he can't use it properly. And, he's constantly coughing up blood. Yeah.
So he's probably not got long left.
Yeah.
They go. Him and the student, the younger student, go into town to do God knows what.
Yeah.
And they end up fighting some bandits, like the Three Stooges.
Yeah. They're just idiots.
Yeah,
because they just want to show off their crane skills, and it just leads to trouble.
Yeah.
Again, you can stick. They were bothering an old man who wasn't going to pay them. And that's not on. But there's lots of ways to deal with that situation.
You just sort of break it up.
You break it up.
Like,
you don't humiliate anybody. You send people on their way.
You don't reveal that you can fucking fight with crane style when you know that's a death sentence.
Exactly. This is just another example of Wong Jr. getting too big for his britches and running into a fight that he can probably win because he's fighting the Stooges, but it's going to lead to trouble, and not just any trouble, death trouble.
And he doesn't even kill them.
He doesn't even kill them. If you're going to fight people who are going to try and kill you, kill them. Yeah,
that way they can't report back. I mean, at the end of the day, they probably would have found out anyway.
Yes, they would have, but still.
But you wouldn't have had to fight the Stooges again. It would have fucked up the organisation.
Exactly. Without if you want to take down the big boss, you take down the lieutenants first.
Yeah, or convert them to your side.
Exactly. Either way, you're fucking with the lieutenants, and he didn't do that.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So then they report back to their leaders like, there's some people with crane style. And then these guys get back to the place and the master's asleep, so they're like, students like, okay, well, we're making something special for dinner. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll get some beef.
I'm just going to leave you, go into town and buy some fucking beef.
Because we obviously forgot to get anything whilst we were there earlier.
We were kicking ass with our sweet-ass kung fu skills.
So then whilst he's out, the evil guys turn up and kill the uncle and the student.
Very He just never learns.
And then, when the guy gets to the beef place, he doesn't have any beef.
No, he doesn't even get any beef from the situation. He just got two dead friends.
I don't know if I'd say friends.
Well, a dead master and a dead child.
And it didn't even play Star Wars soundtrack over it.
No, it didn't. And normally they do. That's how you know stuff's really sad. Yeah, no, I wrote, the student and cool eyebrows are murdered by the shit hair gang. Will Wong Jr. ever learn? Apparently not, because he goes and challenges them, and he beats the shit out of the Three Stooges, but the other two, they're too much for him.
And then as he runs away, this old homeless guy goes in and saves him.
Yep.
The old homeless guy from earlier, and I fucking called it at the start of this fight.
Yep.
That old guy was probably going to come back and teach him kung fu.
Exactly. I mean, mainly just because, aside from the guy selling meat, we've not really had any other characters in this movie. They've all been killed so far because of Wong Jr.'s incompetence.
So then the homeless guy, they treat his wounds.
Yep.
And then the guy goes out to go and get revenge, and the daughter beats the shit into him, being like,
"Y'all ain't going nowhere,
shithead."
son.
And then the homeless guy chastises both of them.
Yeah.
Being like, you shouldn't be such an idiot, and you shouldn't be such a bitch.
Yeah. And they're going to town to sell their vegetables.
And the bandits show up, and they're like, let's move out of the way so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, going around collecting money as they do.
The homeless guy and his daughter granddaughter go to, they're like, oh, well, let's move out of the way then so we don't get in trouble. And she ends up picking a fight with them.
I mean, to be fair to them, they went the wrong way. In other shots, you could see that street is not a one-way street. You can go both ways. If there's a fight going on the left of you, you don't go through the fight to leave the fight. You go right. Yeah. You walk away from the fight. You don't walk right through it, least of all if you're carrying a massive fucking vegetable basket.
2 vegetable baskets.
Yeah, on a big piece of wood.
So then, they're like, ooh, you got a face good enough to sell?
Yeah.
Because initially I thought she was the butcher's son. They said, she'd work in a brothel.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fucking sexist pigs.
Sexist as well as murderers. It's a bad mix. They are bad eggs.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust them with my son.
Neither would I. So yeah. she defends herself from this
just kicks them both.
Kicks them in the face, and then they all leave.
My assumption is because she didn't use crane style and because she's a girl, they were like, she obviously doesn't know crane style isn't a threat to us.
Yeah. The thing is, she handled the situation well because she beat the shit out of them, but she didn't humiliate them.
Quickly. Yeah.
Like, eventually they come and track them down because of it. But it takes them a while.
So, meanwhile, they then have dinner, don't they, or something?
Yeah, they have dinner, and...
the guy's like, oh, teach me Kung Fu.
And he continues to evade any questions about Kung Fu.
Yeah. Even punching through the table.
He still punches through his table, though, which, furniture must be really easy to come by in this world, because God knows they go through a lot of it.
I think it's big pottery sponsored the film.
It's big pottery. They've got a stranglehold on the pot economy.
Exactly, because so much gets smashed. Encourage smashing of plates and stuff.
Yeah.
Can we mention the fact that everyone in this movie smokes a funky pipe?
Pretty much everyone, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. But this leads to another stupid action by Wong Jr. He's determined to be taught Kung Fu. So Wong Jr., who was currently in hiding because he is supposed to be dead, decides to saunter into town and dick around in front of the vegetable stall.
In order to get the guy to teach him Kung Fu.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like an ultimatum.
But the thing is, if he gets caught, not only will he be killed, they will also be killed as well.
Well, I doubt it, actually.
I don't know. Like, these guys seem...
I reckon the old guy could have beaten them up.
Well, they couldn't have killed the two white and black guys.
I reckon he could have killed black guy. Or at least fought him off.
Can we call them Salt and Pepper?
Why? Is it sounding a bit too racist?
No, I just like the idea of calling them Salt and Pepper, if I'm completely honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, anyway, he teaches him... He starts teaching him properly crane style. And yeah, it's a huge montage.
Massive. I might time it actually.
I think it was something like 15 minutes in total.
I mean, that sounds about right.
It was like, him teaching him some poses and stuff. Then they did a bit of fighting. And then he taught him to hit nuts and break his hand.
Yeah. He right after he pulls the stunt in public to get him to teach him Kung Fu, his punishment is to lie underneath his master, who's sitting on like a wire bed.
Like I said, like a bamboo, wicker. Wicker, that's the word. Yeah.
But there's loads and loads of incense sticks stuck on the bottom of it.
Of varying sizes, like there's some proper thick ones.
Yeah.
It looks like.
But they're all burning. And he's got to hold his master up, and if he lets go, then all of the incense sticks will hit him and burn him. Very weird looking thing, really.
Yeah. We then also get some exposition about basically the leader of the bandits were part of this like evil group, and all the crane fighters joined together to beat them off.
Yeah. I'm sure it's very important socio-political background. But it was very boring, so I didn't really pay attention to it.
Yeah, and they should have given us a flashback scene.
But in the next scene where they're actually doing crane style, I thought the insight about the crane style was actually really interesting.
Oh yeah, it was created by this woman who knew the basics of Kung Fu and then just watched cranes.
Yeah, and there's loads of different species of crane incorporated into the crane style. So it's not just one type.
And different sort of things that they're doing, like how they move differently when it's bedtime versus when they just wake up versus when they're hunting,
Yeah, no, it was actually really interesting.
And it was kind of being shown as well how the style changed according to that.
And Wong Jr. can really fight. I mean, they all can, but he was pretty good. But the sparring continues on, and there's some nice slapstick in there, which would be funny.
At one point he gets stuck in a wicker basket.
Yeah, it was funny, but it didn't take away from the fact that he's responsible for a lot of deaths.
Which he hasn't admitted to being the cause of yet.
No, and he never does. At this point, I noticed that Wong Jr.'s acting is awful, as well as just everything being awful about him. His sort of, every close-up of his face is kind of like simperingly flirtatious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's like he's a bit of a sad sack.
Yeah, but he also wants to
He's also trying to get in your pants.
Yeah. Also, he looks a bit like Philip DeFranco.
Yeah. I can imagine so.
Yeah, but as you mentioned earlier, he trains with walnuts. to sort of make his crane style powerful enough to.
Well, I think he's actually he's smashing pebbles in a jar or something.
Well, he starts with walnuts, can't do it, and then moves on to rocks because that's how that works.
Yeah, but he's just punching into a bowl of rocks or little pebbles.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the day, he's like, "Yeah, it stopped hurting." And his master's like, "You idiot! Haven't you seen what you've done?" And he's like,
upends the bucket.
No. Tips out the bucket and he still doesn't see it. It's like he smashed the pebbles up into sand, basically.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why it wasn't hurting anymore.
Because it was sand. But yeah, so that was quite a cool thing.
Yeah, then we have a montage of him crushing walnuts.
Yeah, and
and
for once in this movie, Wong Jr. doesn't get himself into trouble. Trouble finds him.
Yeah. So the bandits show up at the house.
Yeah.
He refuses to open the door to them and then kicks the door open and kills them.
Yeah, he just straight up walnuts the shit out of them.
I'd like to use that phrase more often.
Walnutting them.
Walnutting the shit out of them.
I would quite like to make a gif of that bit where he just had loads of walnuts lined up on a thing and he just broke all of them. But after he kills the Three Stooges.
The master comes out and is like, "You fucking idiot.
You got
now we need to run into hiding."
For all of us.
Yes. So they're on the road, and Pepper turns up.
He does. Now, Kurt, when this happened, was there a weird bit where a mouse got thrown onto the floor?
Yes.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know. I thought he was maybe using rat style or something.
Yeah, because before this fight happens, you hear the guy laugh, and then a mouse gets thrown onto the floor, and it's clearly it's an alive mouse. It just gets thrown onto the ground, onto its back, and it sort of wriggles around a bit, and then it cuts away, and it's never mentioned again. You never see the mouse again. It's just very weird.
I always thought there's going to be like a smoke explosion for a cut to him turning out to have been the mouse or something stupid like that.
That would be fucking amazing.
Exactly.
And hence it didn't happen.
After that, the guy's like, "Can I take him on?" And he's like, and the master almost stops him. He's like, "Yeah, you can take him on."
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think he's just sick of him and he wants him out of his life. Probably. He just wants to sell vegetables.
The guy ends up killing the bandit. Which, that bit I didn't call. I thought that the old homeless guy was going to fight him, die to him, beat him and then die to White.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, Pepper did kill all of the Junior's family. So it's a nice redemptive story, I guess.
Then after he's killed Pepper...
It's quite a good fight.
Yeah. Very much like he's in control of the entire fight and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he just Kali Ma's him.
Yeah. And he wants to challenge Salt, but his master tells him not to, or not yet anyway, because he will die.
He needs a strategy first.
He needs a strategy, he will die, and he should lie low until master can bring help.
So what the fuck does he do?
He fucking doesn't listen.
He goes into town, steals some birds, puts a note on the money guy's back, the last subordinate left of Salt.
Yeah.
And then challenges him to a fight.
See, I wrote at this point, he fights him, and I hope more than anything in the world that he dies and finally learns his fucking lesson, to listen to other people.
Now, this is what I'm not 100% sure on.
Right.
I think, because it was only an hour and 24 minutes long, I think a scene was cut.
What sort of scene would it have been?
I don't know. Some scene either showing him running off anyway,
or a scene of the master and his daughter.
Just something to make it seem less like, okay, they had a plan. They were going to go find this guy to help them. Then we'd have maybe a training scene quickly.
I would have loved
the final
it.
Fight.
I would have absolutely loved it if it cut away to them on the road, and his daughter says, "But father, you don't have a brother," and he's like, "Yes, I don't," and then they just leave. But they leave him to his fate.
So yeah, he ends up fighting the evil guy, and
it's an okay fight. His
yeah,
master mentions him before that the guy has a temper
and a heart
problem, so that he should get him angry to raise his blood pressure.
I just suggest him feeding him salty foods, but
Yeah, that's a long-term solution, and we know for a fact that Junior doesn't listen to long-term solutions.
But yeah, in the end, he just beats the shit out of him and wins the fight,
I was pretty happy that they didn't do the cop-out ending and have the guy have a heart attack.
Oh, I'd have liked it if he had a heart attack before the guy could kill him. Like, he was on the floor, the guy was about to deliver the final blow, then he had a heart attack.
That would be great. It would be denying him
true vengeance. we need for this film.
I mean, to be honest, he might well have died of a heart attack, because he did fall like a fucking redwood.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we haven't mentioned yet, actually. Sorry. It's all the fucking freeze frames in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every scene there's at least 2 freeze frames, it seems.
Yeah. Every time someone dies is a freeze frame. Or at one point when somebody gets jabbed in the throat, there's a quick shot of a walnut being cracked.
A jump.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just to pad the film out, maybe they just were too quick in the filming that there was like no time for like an impact to really hit, so they put 3 frames in time to better hit or something.
There's always some kind of editing gimmick in these films.
Yeah.
In every single film, there's at least one. Whether it's, the freeze frame, the slow motion, or they just cut to something completely different. Like in that one film where they cut to red when someone gets stabbed or whatever.
Oh,
True,
yeah.
but at least that red was like, it was pretty obvious what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was an interesting technique to display the fact that someone had just been killed. And then at the end, there was, the film ended there, and there was nothing else after that. That's the one thing I do think these films are lacking, is a sort of epilogue.
/ closure.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you killed the big bad, what now?
Yeah.
Are you going to just go back to living as a doctor, or are you going to marry this girl?
Yeah, she had no character development at all, aside from the fact that she had a fight with him once and kicked a guy in the head. She might as well have not been there.
Yeah.
Aside from somebody who Junior would probably get killed in the near future.
I suppose, though, if you don't write her in as a character, she can't be used as that, pretty shitty trope of the romantic female character in these films. But that's it. That was the end of the film. Thoroughly average.
Yeah, completely. What did you think of it, Ollie?
I thought that it was a funky average flick.
Yeah.
I give it a thunky pipe out of 10.
I honestly can't think of anything that would improve this film, really. A lot of the problems with Mates Film averages us down at its core.
Yeah.
I feel like the editor and the director knew what they were doing. I didn't think any of the camera shots were off or anything. It was just like writing.
It was fine. It was well shot.
Poor. The acting was pretty poor.
Yeah, I guess it just could have been better written.
Yeah.
I never liked the main character, as you can probably tell.
Yeah.
He was just very irritating and
I
never
think
learned
the
anything.
problems. Yeah, I think the problems come down to a writing standpoint rather than any the actor who. Okay, the actor was probably average, but in these films it's more of them being a kung fu aficionado more than anything. So I can you can always think of a bit of bad, cheesy acting for that. I mean, this film was just like plain bread.
I mean, the sets were okay.
Plain bread with stale ketchup.
I was just going to say, just like pretty shitty margarine put on it.
Yes, margarine, not butter.
Not butter, because butter actually has a nice flavour. I mean, not that saying anything wrong with margarine.
But shit margarine, there's nothing worse than shit margarine.
Basically, like Stork, you put it in a cake, but you wouldn't have it on your bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Stork?
It's a brand of margarine.
Yeah, it's best used for baking and cooking.
But it's not that good for actually... It's a little bit more like butter in terms of its consistency, which is why it's used for baking.
Yeah.
I'd give this film a solid 4.9 out of 10.
I'd give it a 4.5.
Fair enough.
A 4. It's not getting 4.
See, that's why I'm giving it a 4.9. I'm like, it's completely average, but it's not good enough to be mid 5.
4 is slightly worse than average for me, so... and for the action, I'd give the action a solid 7.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give it a 7. I'll give it an 8 simply because it taught me a lot about crane style, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, true. I kind of want to know a bit more about, the actual film depicting the conflict between the crane guys and stuff as a full film. Because that could be kind of fun and interesting, but...
I give this a funky pipe out of 10 and a handful of walnuts.
Now, don't you go breaking those walnuts.
Yeah.
Not before you turn an entire barrel of rocks into sand.
You can use a walnut as a musical instrument.
Can you?
You can play it like a whistle.
Oh yeah, I remember something about that. Because then they're not completely sealed or something.
That sounds amazing.
I don't know. This has been the Kung Fu Cast. Where can everyone go and find your shirts?
You can follow me on Twitter at @TheTimeStarfish. Watch me tweet about random guff. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm the most mysterious Battenberg with an underscore wherever there be a space. What about you, Ollie?
You can find me at oliverryan.co.uk. Come if you dare.
Yep, he does music-y stuff on SoundCloud.
I take photographic, cinematographic, and I draw things sometimes.
Nice.
I do a bit of everything.
And you can find me beating off in your neighbourhood bush. I do proper drawing. Well, I say proper drawing.
Yeah.
I do fan arty shit.
It's amazing how he can be in so many bushes all at once.
Whilst drawing and beating.
It's amazing. He's ambidextrous.
Yeah. He hasn't made it onto the sex offenders register quite yet.
No, he always charms his way off it. Even though he's in every neighbourhood bush.
Yeah. I think the police are just like, oh, that Lawrence.
Such a menace, that boy. But not enough of a menace that will incarcerate him.
But yeah, you can find me on like most things at Loza Kane, like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
And then my Tumblr's at Loza Art, or lozaart.tumblr, sorry.
Just go to your neighbourhood bush after this and you'll find him on there as well.
Only in England though, not America.
No, he's not done that yet.
I'm just national at the moment.
Yeah, I can't get the visa, you know.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Sex pest is not a job that the US wants, actually. Not unless you're the president.
Yeah.
Or a famous comedian. Or most football players.
True.
Anyway, good night.
See ya.
Have some walnuts, they're good for you. That's my message. That's my health reminder of today.
That's a good health reminder.